Do you find people offended by your faith-based work?
Well, we've had a few, but we've had moms come back. We've given the pamphlet out. Sometimes we've handed out 3,000 of them at a night. And we've had moms come back and they said, this is great, thank you. And we've designed it as a poster, so hopefully kids don't just take it home and throw it away. Hopefully they'll, paste it on their mirror or on their wall, and they'll look at it every day and be inspired.
Another thing that they buy from you are these this is a big T-shirt, RaleighDrifting.com. Life No Rewind is the message, and on the back is your schedule of races, right?
Yes.
And also. You've got Life Skills Canada, treat others you want them to treat you, and then you've got hopewheels.ca, Motorsports helping the homeless. Now, what's up with that?
Well, I'm involved with the Queensway Cathedral in Toronto, and they've got a program called Hope Wheels, and they actually use motorsports to help the homeless.
How's that work?
Well, they invite top-level drivers, and they look for sponsors. We've got most of the major auto manufacturers actually involved, and it's just great to see Industry Canada and the motorsports helping the homeless. You think of NASCAR, you think of big budgets, but here they are helping people that really need help. And they go out twice a week and give food to the homeless, and it's just great to see.
Wow. So, how did this all begin? I mean, you wake up in the middle of the night one night and say, wow, I've got a new concept, rally drifting, let's go out there and do it. How did it happen?
Well, I competed in the Canadian National Championship, and it's a lot of time away from family. It's pretty expensive.
This is in rally driving?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that, I didn't have to miss church, I didn't have to stay away from my family, and something that I could afford, something that was safe. Rallying, like you alluded previously, can be a little bit, rally is actually a little bit dangerous because you're driving through these narrow roads at 200 kilometers an hour, and those trees don't move.
No, a little bit dangerous is an understatement. I would say a whole lot dangerous.
Yeah, so I sort of said, hey, let's try to do something else. And it sort of started as a club. Let's get some Christian friends out, and it just evolved from there. And now we're trying to get our own series going, and we're doing. And unlike rally is sort of in the trees, in the woods. We're hitting the major markets, and that's why we've got interest in major manufacturers, and that's why we've got we're just getting exposure that the manufacturers want. And it's just mushroomed from there. Now,
you mentioned wanting to be at home on the weekends with your family and being able to go to church. I think we got some shots of your family here. Take a look. Who are we looking at there? My goodness.
That's Megan, Evan, and Lauren, and they're probably a year old there.
What? Now we're triplets here?
Triplets, yes.
Actually, there's a story, isn't there, about the size of these babies when they were born?
Yes, their average weight was about 6 pounds. Mom carried them almost full term. Total weight was 18 pounds.
My goodness.
And as far as we know, they're the heaviest living triplets, and we're actually going to try to get a World Guinness Book of Records for them. And they're twice the weight of the average triplet.
Wow.
The average triplet is 3 pounds, and ours were born at 6 pounds. So.
Wow. I want to. Can we have that shot again? That shot of them in that tub is too sweet. I mean, look at that. I am a grandfather, so I'm a little sappy. But what are the names again, from left to right?
Evan, Megan, and Lauren.
Evan, Megan, and Lauren. So a boy and 2 girls.
Yes.
And how do they get along?
The bond is so strong. It's just amazing. You'll give them a cookie, and they'll say, "Well, do you have a cookie for my sister?" It's just different from regular kids.
Yeah.
And they, kids will be kids, and they'll do something that they shouldn't, and you have to discipline them a little bit, and all of a sudden you've got 3 crying kids because the other 2 are sorry for the other one.
You're empathizing.
It's just incredible.
And the first 2 years of your life would be relatively distracted, I would think, when you got triplets?
Yes, the 2 years were the hardest. Now I think we've got it easier. People ask me all the time, what's it like to have triplets? And I say, normal. And I go, what's it like to have a single child?
Right.
Permanent holiday? and And so it's been quite the experience.
Just before we go, there is a magazine here which I really enjoyed, Christian Motorsports Illustrated. I didn't know that this magazine even existed. There's a very famous face there on the front, Richard Petty. But as I was reading the magazine, again, I was astonished at the number of big-name drivers who are very committed to the Lord. And so you're really tapping into something here that has a bit of a spiritual infrastructure, aren't you?
Yes, I'm just amazed at how God has placed these top drivers in positions where they get amazing coverage, and they're able to influence people so much. You know, NASCAR has 215 million TV viewers, and to have top drivers, you know, give a message is great. I think it's Jeff Gordon hopped from one team to the other because he didn't want to support alcohol sales. I mean, what a message for kids.
Yeah. Sam Hornish. I mean, there's so many of these guys in all forms of motorsport. And by the way, you mentioned 215 million viewers with NASCAR. Rally driving has a much bigger audience, right?
Yes, it's almost 4 times as big. It's more of a European sport or a worldwide sport rather than North America. They have 817 million viewers.
Wow.
And we're trying to get a car into the series. One of my best friends bought the actual cars from Subaru Canada. And that car has competed in several events in the World Rally Championship. So we're 90% there. And it's just amazing that, you know, myself is just involved in that project. I mean, I could be one of the, you know, smaller cars way in the back of the pack, but yet I'm involved in one of the top cars in Canada.
Well, I think it's terrific. I drove in and I saw your Subaru parked out there in the guest parking, and I thought, that's it. That's the car. I could sense it's. Anyway, I'll leave that. Thanks for coming away, Fred. It's terrific. You are doing a great job and having a big impact, especially on kids, for good and for God, and that's terrific. Coming up, What I Do with Robert Melnick.